Welcome to the second lecture in Stats 243. All right, so we are going to talk about Chapter 2 of our mostly harmless statistics book, and that's about organizing data. All right, so when we are organizing data, we have quantitative and qualitative data. Qualitative is something about like color of eyes, type of ice cream you like, et cetera, et cetera. Quantitative is like your weight, your height, your, again, a number, a describer. You have to organize these differently because there are different types of data. So I can make a frequency table to organize qualitative data, tallying each, taking its frequency and its relative frequency, which would look like this, right? Vanilla, chocolate chip mint, there's only 2 of them, and strawberry. Relative frequency is the frequency divided by, relative meaning relative to the whole, divided by the number. You can think of the relative frequency as a percent, right? All right, the tally column is optional and redundant to the frequency column. The frequency should add up to your sample size. The relative frequency represents the percent of each class. If the qualitative data has no inherent orders, then the rows can be arranged in any way that you want, right? While others, some like to arrange it by magnitude, so smallest group to biggest group or vice versa, right? Qualitative graphs include the bar chart. Again, this is all of our ice cream data, right? It tells you how to make a bar chart here. The Pareto chart, it's important that Pareto goes in descending order from largest magnitude to smallest magnitude, right? The pie chart, that's a favorite. And again, this summarizes how you would do the steps of a pie chart, so take a few minutes to kind of look through this. This is on your canvas. Pie chart. About procrastination. That is funny. Right? All right, so organizing qualitative data with tables and graphs. Now we're talking about quantitative data now, so this is numbers. All right? All right, so here's the, records the farm scores on final exams. The farm scores. Why did I write that word? Farm scores. That's a weird word. On final exams. And there's a little extra thing. This needs to be fixed. There we go. So on the final exams. Right. So we would do our frequency table here. Again. Now we need to figure out what our classes are going to be. Right. So here we went 31 to 40, 41 to 50, so every 10. It's really important that classes have equal width. They don't overlap and there's no gaps. So here's the frequency in each of those ranges. Here's the relative frequency, so 32% got between an 80 and a 90. Here's the cumulative frequency. So this is a running total. This is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 4. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 5. Plus 8 is 13. Plus another 8 is 21. And this is the relative cumulative frequency. So this is just, again, taking it and dividing it by your total sample size. So dividing it by 25. Taking this, divided by 25, gives you this 0.04. 3 divided by 25 gives you that 12%, divided by 25 gives you 16%, and so on. Should always end at 100% for relative cumulative frequency, right? All right, general rule of thumb, there should be between 5 and 20 classes, with fewer or for smaller data sets and maybe more for very large data sets. Right? They need to be inclusive, every number, no gaps, no overlaps, and equal width. Right? All right, and understanding a frequency table. This will kind of go over what I just talked about for the frequency table, so you can take a look at that. Here are the graphs that we need to know. A histogram. This is your basic kind of bar graph for quantitative numbers. Right. So this is probably one of the more common graphs. If I took this, put a dot at the center of each of these, and connected them with a straight line, and then connected the zeros at the end, look at how that histogram matches. This is a relative histogram, which means we're looking at the percent instead of the frequency in the y-axis. A fancy, basically just, is this a polygon? A polygon is basically my polygon right there. Okay, when you need to calculate the midpoints of your classes, you take the upper class limit plus the lower class limit and divide it by 2. So again, showing you that this is just a example of the histogram. An ogive is actually a pretty important little graph because you see it most like with percentiles, right? So like if I want to know, well, what percentile is my baby's height then? We would like go to that height, and then we'd go back over here and then say, oh, my baby's in the 40th percentile. So that's kind of where you see ogives a lot. Again, you have the cumulative relative frequency on the one side, cumulative relative percent on one side, always flattens out at the 100, right? And then the your data points are your upper class limits are down here. Upper class limits are down here. Upper class limits. All right. And I think that's kind of a good overview of everything that you kind of need to look at for this next homework. Make sure you're doing all the reading as well, and diving into that My Open Math. Have a great night. Thanks. Bye.